This is TWiT.
What a week we had. Last week was crazy with OpenAI's ChatGPT 4.0, which sounded remarkably like Rashida Jones. I don't know if you noticed. Did you notice? It sounds just like Rashida Jones. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I first thought ScarJo, and then one of my coworkers said Rashida Jones, and I was like, I can hear that too. So yeah.
Well,
totally.
Scarlett Johansson thinks it's her.
Yeah. I mean, that's who I thought it was at first, and then a coworker said Rashida Jones, and I was like, actually,
they have the same voice. Is the problem? That's the problem. They have the same voice. They sound exactly the same. I started playing with ChatGPT when it had a voice months ago, and I said ScarJo right from the beginning, and that's why I liked it, because I want to talk to Scarlett Johansson. Of course, it turns out Sam Altman's a big fan of the movie Her. Scarlett Johansson was the voice of the AI in Her, the AI that Joaquin Phoenix falls in love with and gets his heart broken by. It's a prescient movie. You should all watch it. And it turns out that, in fact, OpenAI did approach Scarlett Johansson, not once, but twice, asking to use her voice, and she said no. But this is what's kind of interesting to me. Washington Post, I guess OpenAI talked to Washington Post and showed them the records and even introduced them to the actress who did the voice Sky, which is the default voice for GPT 4.0. And apparently, even before Altman talked to Johansson, they had this woman record it. Her agent showed the receipts to the Washington Post, who says the actress's natural voice sounds identical to the AI-generated Sky voice, based on brief recordings of her initial voice test reviewed by the Post. The agent said the name Sky was chosen to signal a cool, airy, pleasant sound. Scarlett Johansson said, no, you copied me, and I know it because you came to me twice, and I said no both times, and you still went ahead with it. So here's the question. Given that Sky sounds a lot like Rashida Jones as well, and apparently some third unnamed actress, she rightly so doesn't want her name revealed. In a statement from the Sky actress, this is again the Washington Post, provided by her agent, she wrote that at times the backlash feels personal, being that it's just my natural voice. And I've never been compared to her, Scarlett Johansson, by the people who know me closely. However, she said she was well informed about what being a voice for ChatGPT would entail. While that was unknown and honestly kind of scary territory for me, she said, as a conventional voiceover actor, it is an inevitable step toward the wave of the future. So now what do? OpenAI has paused the use of the Sky voice, much to my sadness, because I liked it. I mean, so there is some case law in this. Bette Midler and Tom Waits both have sued because their voices were impersonated on advertisements. In both cases, they were asked, said no, and then the companies hired voice actors to sound like them. So you do have publicity rights on your voice, and the courts have ruled. But voices aren't that unique.
I'm very curious.
Go ahead, Alex.
Sorry, no, I broke my audio setup while I was trying to jump in there. My bad. Anyways, the thing that I'm curious about is when OpenAI was approaching this unnamed actress, what were they looking for? Because it does seem
she says they did not say Scarlett Johansson at any time.
That's because they're not stupid.
Yeah.
They found
that person's talent.
Yeah, but if it's her real voice, if she's not doing an impression, but that's her real voice, she owns that voice as much as Scarlett Johansson does.
Someone chose her. Someone chose her for a reason. And the reason is because it sounds close to what they wanted. And what they wanted, I mean, maybe it's one of those things where, like, maybe they're not guilty for in this case, but they're guilty of something.
By the way,
I don't think that they are 100% clean on this.
We know who the someone is because it turns out Altman was on his world tour and not involved. Mira Murati, the chief technology officer and the woman who was temporarily the OpenAI CEO when Altman was temporarily fired, was the sole decision maker. They used a director, Joanne Zhang, who leads OpenAI model behavior for OpenAI. She said the company selected actors who are eager to work on an AI product. She played actors a sample AI version of their voice to demonstrate how realistic the technology would sound. She also gave them an out if they're uncomfortable. She worked with a film director hired by OpenAI, I'm sure not Spike Jonze, to help develop develop the technology's personality. For instance, this is all from the Washington Post. If a user asked, "Will you be my girlfriend?" Zhang wanted the AI tool to respond with clear boundaries, but also let them down easy. The director came up with a response. When it comes to, can I do this like Scarlett Johansson, or will I get sued?
Do it.
I
think you're
yours was parody.
Well, yeah, that's right. Because Rich Little never got sued by Richard Nixon or anybody. When it comes to matters of the heart, consider me a cheerleader, not a participant. So, Christina, where do you come down on this?
Okay, so first, with the disclosure that the company that I work for and its parent company both have relationships with OpenAI. All right, disclosed. The problem I have here is the optics. If you hired someone and it's great that you went through this process and you said, we want people who are gung-ho about AI, and it just happens that, had a voice that could be confused with that of Scarlett Johansson's or Rashida Jones or any other kind of pleasant voice that we might associate with things, fine. The optics of, regardless of who was involved with approaching an actress, regardless of that timeline, the fact that you approached Scarlett Johansson twice and tried to get her on board. And also the fact that, tweets such as her were done and
Sam Altman, the day after 4:0, tweeted one word, her.
Right.
That's kind of an admission of guilt, isn't it?
Well, I mean, look, it's a problem optically, right? And so I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how this comes down legally. I definitely think it looks bad optically, right? Now there's a part of me that says, what they should have done is just hire Samantha Morton, and that's a joke because the original voice
She's
of
the
Samantha
Siri, Siri voice, right?
No. The actress Samantha Morton was originally the voice of Samantha in Her, and it was recast after the film was shot with Scarlett Johansson because Spike Jonze liked Scarlett Johansson's voice better, and not at all because Scarlett Johansson was also the sub tie-in for Sofia Coppola in Lost in Translation, her divorce film about Spike Jonze, and Her was Spike Jonze's divorce film about Sofia Coppola.
We have a pop culture wizard here. Now I've got to get this straight.
What?
So wait a minute, Lost in Translation was Sofia Coppola's
divorce film about Spike Jonze.
About breaking up with the director Spike Jonze, who then directed Her. And of course, Scarlett Johansson's big break was in Lost in Translation.
Correct.
So was this a shot at Sofia Coppola?
I'm honestly, Sofia Coppola thinks of it that way. She's never watched Her because she's like, why do I want to watch Rooney Mara play me? I was there.
Wow.
So I don't know
That's great info, by the way.Yak you very much. This is why we have welcome. Film Girl on the show. Holy cow.
I was going to say, it's not all for the tech pseudo expertise, but the actual pop culture knowledge.
I'm glad your background is blurred. You probably have one of those
she's got
boards with the
red string going around.
The red strings.
Wow.
No, but ScarJo was the replacement voice, so it would have been funny in my mind.
What was the original actress?
Samantha Morton.
I want to get some audio from Samantha Morton just to see what she sounds like. Wouldn't it be funny?
She was in. She's British, so
it would be a British voice.
She was the main what were they called, the precog in Minority Report.
Oh yeah, she was in the water. Yeah, but she doesn't talk a lot in that movie.
No, but so I
Let me
don't
just
know.
play a little Samantha Morton.
Yeah,
I just
just
want to hear what her voice sounds like.
Wow, thank you. Just looking at all your faces. Wow.
Oh.
Thank you, BAFTA. I mean, for me, this is.
It would really been great if they had used her for Sky. It would have everything would have come full circle. Your strings would have gone.
Honestly, it would have been completely. That's what I'm saying. It would have been very funny. The whole thing would have been great. To me, if I were trying to do something, if I were not willing to pay Scarlett Johansson the amount of money that she would have required, because I have to think that's really what it came down to, right?
Or what
like,
if,
it's not
what
about,
if they went to her out of courtesy and they said, look, we know this is it's not her voice, but it sounds like her. So let's just out of courtesy offer to pay her. And she said no, but they still say, but it's not her voice, so we don't have to pay her. We're just doing this out of courtesy.
Yeah, but then why did you approach, right? Like then,
to be nice.
Yeah, but then it sounds enough. I don't know. I feel like
to be nice, Leo. Honey, let's stop right there.
Right. No one involved in this is nice.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Like I I've met Sam Altman. I've been in and around the tech world.
Not
for
nice.
A long
Not
time.
a nice man, you mean?
Yeah. No, actually, Sam was lovely when I met him. But I don't think that people who end up running companies worth tens and hundreds of billions of dollars get there by having very rounded elbows that don't cause bruises or cuts.
Right.
So really, it's a PR. What you're saying, Christina, is a PR issue, regardless of the legal issue.
Yeah.
Scarlett if it had been Roseanne Barr or Rosie O'Donnell, no one would have sure, it's her. We're pretending it's her. But Scarlett Johansson, everybody loves Scarlett Johansson. You don't want to make enemies, not just of her, but of her fan base.
Well, totally. And I mean, I think she also has to probably know her worth a little bit.
Right.
I don't know what they offered her.
She's also the woman who took on Disney.
I was going to say, this is someone who successfully took on Disney. And frankly, this is why I'm like, okay, well, how much do you offer to pay her? Because if you offered her between $250 and $500 million, which is what I think, that's what I think it would cost. No, if I'm being completely candid, yes. If you're Scarlett Johansson, if you were going to license your voice,
if she were even willing to do it, you're right. It would be a huge amount of money. Yeah.
It would have to be. And I don't think they'd be willing to do that. Yes, because think about it. If you're going to give your voice up in perpetuity to one of these things, and your voice is known because of the film you were in as being kind of this AI thing, right? And you're going to be kind of the voice, the face, so to speak, of this company. Yeah, you're Scarlett Johansson.
I will do it for 1/1000th of the money. I will do it for $250K.
And the thing is, Alex. And the thing is, Alex, no one wants your voice.
No. It hurts.
That's the thing. I know, That's the thing, right? So if you get a sound alike, and then the case law is there with Bette Midler and with other artists, it becomes complicated. I think that they could have a very good argument had they not approached her to say, we just found this person.
Right.
We directed it. This is what it sounds like. If people want to, and they could even use the fact that plenty of us could hear two different distinct actresses' voices, right? Saying, no, it's just, white women sound alike, which fair. I think that, but I think it looks bad when you approach the actress.
And I think it's another example of OpenAI going through an unnecessarily negative press cycle. Like this feels like them tripping over their shoelaces
again and again,
because they just play slightly too fast and loose. And I pay for ChatGPT Pro. My dad loves it. I use it. I don't code much, so I don't use GitHub Copilot. But I think this stuff is awesome. And so it's a bummer that the company that's doing so much and breaking so much ground is making the entire world of AI appear to be slightly shadier than I think it needs to be. I think it's net negative for the industry. And I can kind of see why Sam Altman, everywhere he goes, kind of gets in trouble with everyone he works with because he
plays fast and loose. He's the move fast to break things kind of guy.
I want to say something. It's a little bit of a left turn, but one of the things that I'm concerned about, and I think Christina alluded to this when she said, Alex, no one wants your voice. One thing out of all of this that no one's talking about is that the demo for 4.0 was primarily voice input. There was some camera action there, but it was mostly
it was about
voice
the
input.
Voice. They were trying to make her, weren't they?
Not only that, no. What they want is the people to interact with their voice. Mm-hmm. And if you are familiar with their opt-out models, not their opt-in for the data that you put in, they could be farming everyone's voice now.
Oh, this is why we want Scarlett to win this, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's not people talking about this, but like if primary input is voice input and they're capturing all this data, they're capturing all of samples of everyone's voice in response to how they're interacting with OpenAI, their chat bot. And so of course they can say, okay, sorry, let's take Sky out. But they could be replacing it with multiple different options of voices, maybe even giving an option to use your own voice, and they could be not paying anything for that.
Yeah.
So I don't think anyone's talking about why do you think the demo was mostly interacting using voice? It only makes sense if it's that way.
Well,
and also, why are companies using weird, messed up, like futuristic names? Like Sky is obviously from Skynet. That's not a future we want. And all of these companies are using the types of, like, Palantir. Come on. I mean, there are companies that are just basically saying the quiet part out loud that we're evil.
So the
Sauron Incorporated is here to help, Wes.
The other voices I can choose from are, here's Ember.
Hey, I'm ready to hit the ground running. So if there's anything you'd like me to focus on first, just let me know.
Who do you kill first?
Here's Cove.
I just want to share how thrilled I am to work with you, and I can't wait to get started.
Here's Juniper.
Hey there. I've got a really great feeling about us teaming up. How can I jump in?
And here's Breeze.
It's great to meet you. How's your day going? I'm really looking forward to working on some cool stuff together.
I guess they didn't want to give them human names, right? So they're all kind of nature names. But they are, I mean, this is a very personal thing when you're talking to ChatGPT 4.0. It's a chat thing. You're talking to somebody. Often the answers are stupid and wrong, by the way. But frankly, I wanted Sky.
Yeah, no, it was the best voice. This is the problem.
I don't like these other voices. Yeah. I'd like you, Christina. How much would you cost?
Significantly less than Scarlett Johansson.
Not a quarter of a billion?
Probably, absolutely not. But I'm not Scarlett Johansson. I'm not the highest grossing actress in box office history. So,
Really?
Yeah, she is. Yeah, because of Marvel.
Oh, well,
because of all the
either
Avenger
way, it
films.
still counts. Yeah.
It does still count. Yeah, I know. So she's like, yeah, I think Robert Downey Jr. is number one, and she's like for actresses. Yeah.
Wow. Hey, thank you for watching this little snippet from our big show, the News Roundtable This Week in Tech. I'm Leo Laporte. Each week we cover the week's tech news, in-depth analysis, but it's also fun and engaging. You'll find it at twit.tv along with all of our shows. And if you want more, just hit the subscribe button, and we'll be sure to bring you a lot more great content. Thanks for listening.